Well, I can tell you a little bit about my favorite story in the volume, Hellgoing. I want to talk about that title story because it's the main story in an eclectic collection of 9 short narratives written over 13 years and published by the House of Anansi Press in 2013. And it allows an opportunity to talk a little bit about the form of the short story and the definition of the short story. As many people know, the volume was the winner of the 2013 National Giller Prize, Scotiabank Giller Prize, sorry. Anansi's president and publisher, Sarah McLaughlin, called the win a vindication of the short story. So it's the opportunity to say a few things about the story Hellgoing, along with the genre of the short story itself. Now, the short story has been a notoriously difficult form for even literary scholars to define, except to say that it's short, and that's obvious. As a narrative, it stands alone and can be published separately in magazines and newspapers, or it can be included, as Hellgoing is, in a collection of stories. And there it takes on new angles of meaning by refracting the themes and inferences of other parts of the book in which it appears. Often credited with the first theory of the short story, Edgar Allan Poe argued in 1846 that the form is defined not by its formal features, but by the experience of the reader. It could be read in a single sitting and was thus superior to the novel because of the unity of effect it achieved. During the hour of perusal, he wrote, the soul of the reader is at the writer's control. Well, fair enough, but what does the reader do with that control? In 1846, Poe couldn't anticipate the interest of contemporary writers in using the short story as a way of exploring not just unity, but the multiplication of affect, the fragmentation of perspective, instances of missed connections and mistaken identities, often on a level so apparently insignificant that they might not be perceived under other circumstances, and yet so significant that they might actually change our view of the world. The short story, it might be argued, is an opportunity for writers to take risks in experimentation, to take risks in representation. As Coady herself puts it, every short story can be approached like an experiment. American short story virtuosa Joyce Carol Oates wrote that the genre is typified by a concentration of the imagination, not an expansion as in the novel. And Nobel laureate Nadine Gordimer said that the short story writer sees in the light of a flash, in fleeting and transient moments of insight, and that view of the short story has become famous. When she was asked to characterize the stories in Hellgoing, Coady described them as stories about people who don't get it, but who are maybe in the process of starting to get it, with annoying endings. The short story then often takes readers to moments of revelation or epiphany that aren't fully accessible to their characters. And as writers like Lynn Coady, Alice Munro, and Mavis Gallant all show, such moments can be vexing to us because they're revealed as neither stable nor durable. And those so-called annoying endings, I would argue, bring the reader literally up short. They pull the rug abruptly out from under her and make the reader ask how or if we really know what we think we know, or on what grounds we can distinguish right from wrong, or where we all go from here, since the ending in Coady's stories often isn't really a conclusion at all.